Our inability to let go, I feel like it starts from day zero, like before they're even born. Actually, one of my first memories with my oldest child, and I distinctly remember telling my husband, no matter what, where they take her, what exams she's gonna have, do not leave her side. I was definitely afraid and had this irrational fear that they were gonna switch her at birth. That is how deeply rooted our fear of letting go is. So fast forward a few years, she's nearly 13, and we're in upper level maths, but we still have trouble with letting go. Best of both worlds, outsourcing upper level math.
Look at me and see that I'm the type of girl you're not really that used to.
Welcome back, friends. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Arlene with Arlene and Company. As I said before, today we are going to do best of both worlds, outsourcing upper level math while staying involved. Now, why would you want to stay involved? Stick with me. But first off, let me thank our sponsor. Today is Teaching Textbooks sponsoring this video. I am forever grateful. Thank you. And I'm going to have the link in the description box below so you can do a free trial of the first 15 lessons of any level you like and give it a try. Check it out for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. You check it out and see how your kiddos react to it. Why do I always kick a chair or something? Anywho, let's get to have links to previous teaching textbook videos in the description box below that actually goes over like the why and the stuff and what they do, and you know, just so you can take a look if you want to delve deeper on everything of the process and stuff. Today, I'm just really going to focus on what it means to outsource and if you still want to be involved, even though a platform such as this gives you the tools so your kiddo can be pretty independent. You don't need to grade the papers. You don't need to teach the lessons. You don't need to show them how the problems were solved and things like that, because it's all built in for you. But if you're anything like me and you can't let go, here's a few tips of how you can stay involved. You can look, first off, you can look your lessons ahead of time. Why would you want to see what they're learning about ahead of time if the magic man in the screen is going to tell them what to do? Listen, I know that you know when your kiddo may have a difficulty with a certain topic coming up. So let's pick a big one. Let's say fractions. You know, that's more elementary, but you know, for the sake of argument, let's say fractions, and you think, oh, that's gonna be a little hard of a concept. You can prepare stuff ahead of time to have as a supplement, such as manipulatives, hands-on stuff. You can go ahead and print additional practice sheets for certain elements. You can go ahead and have those additional manipulatives so that they can have that kinesthetic portion of their learning. But yes, they have a scratch pad, they have all these good stuff built in, but if you know your kiddo is gonna need a little something extra for a certain subject, you'll know that ahead of time. The ebook is searchable, so you can go ahead and search the specific topic, and you can print it too if you feel so inclined, if you're a paper planner or anything like that, and you just want to plot those. If you are teaching Tim, Jane, and Sam that, and you know, chaos of the day is happening, and your older child comes up to you, oh my God, I don't get it. Yes, they can replay the lesson. Yes, they can go and revert back to when the lesson was first taught, because it will tell them in that right upper quadrant. It will tell them all that. But if you want to be superhero rescuer, you can be, and you already will be prepared. So that's one of the things that I always like to look ahead as I'm doing my lesson plannings for the week. What concepts and things are they going to be learning on? Now, teaching textbook is a spiral program, so it's going to constantly review, new concept, practice new concept, review, new concept, practice new concept. You get the drill, right? So you're gonna have a lot of that in scaffolding and so on, but I like to know what is that new concept so I can be prepared if I feel like, okay, this is something that they may or may not struggle in, and I have that ready to go. So that's number one. You can search your ebook, you can print the ebook, you can plot it in your plan so you know exactly what's going on, what your kiddo is learning, and if you would like to reinforce just for your own happy thoughts that they actually got it, you can, you know, go ahead and do some practice problems and things like that together, and you can see their comprehension level. Yes, you can see their grade book, you can see what answers they did and everything like that. But if you want a little bit extra, it's totally possible. The do-over. This is what I hear a lot from parents, like being a teaching textbook, being online. Okay, my child will lose it if they get a problem wrong and they can't redo it. It's not the same as I have it on my piece of paper and I can erase it and we can do it all over again. my friends, it's called a do-over. All right, so in your parent portal, what I call the do-over, you can go ahead and do one of a few things. Let's say your child accidentally typed in, it was a typo and typed in the wrong answer. And they're like, perfectionists, like I have, and they just cannot let that go. You can go ahead and edit that answer and make it correct. If you know for a fact that your child got that answer correct and it was just a mere typo, you can go ahead and edit and mark it correct. Now, let's say they're like, they got 4 problems wrong out of like their 22. They're not really happy with their grade. They rewatched the lesson. They understand what they got wrong and how they got wrong, and they understand how to do the problem. And they really don't want to let that specific grade stick there. And that is a worry of yours, that you're not being able to allow your child to do something over until they reach the level of mastery. And then, you know, that those grades just kind of stick. You can go ahead and delete those 4 problems and give them a chance to do it over again. And to work them out, okay? So that is completely up to you. You can go ahead and delete them. That will improve their scores if they get it right on the next try. Now, let's say they bomb. They just bombed the whole thing. I don't know where they were. They were watching the birds outside the window. Who knows? But they bombed it. They rewatched the lesson, reinforced everything they needed to do. They get it now, and you're giving them the break, and then they want to do the lesson over. My daughter is notoriously for, if she does not do well on something, she will go and rewatch the lesson, do it over, do it with me, the lesson, if it's something that she really needs help with, and then ask to do that lesson. What you can do is go ahead and delete the entire lesson. Let's scratch it. Let's do it again. All right, and then you give them the opportunity to do the lesson and get a better score. It's called a do-over, my friends. All right, so you have our portal is like your parental control. You have a lot of options in there. So again, you feel like you have very little control. Hints, if you want your child to have hints that are strategically placed throughout the lessons. If that's something that you feel like would hinder your child or something you don't want to do, you can turn it off and they won't have any hints. You could also turn on second chances. And this is not offered with every problem, but because, you know, like true or false. You can't say like, oh yeah, do over, you got it wrong. Yeah, I'm like, well, what's the answer? No, but it will be placed in problems that would be applicable for it and give them a second chance. And you can turn that option on and off. So if you feel that that is right for your kiddo, you can go ahead and have that control. Remember, you can stay involved. One of the things is she can have difficulty processing information and needs everything sequential. And when she's looking at something on an online platform, she may accidentally skip something. So I turned on the option that she is not allowed to skip a lesson. So basically it locks all other lessons until the lesson previous to that it is completed. And this is a very important thing for us, especially, and if you have children with unique needs, that they need that help in their structure and organization so they don't accidentally skip problems or are all over the place. So you can go ahead and limit them to having to finish a lesson before moving on. You could also limit to how many lessons they can complete in one day. So maybe you know that your child is trying to like push forward because they want to finish and want to do like 5 lessons, but you don't want that because you're afraid of burnout or that their accuracy is gonna just go down, or for whatever reason, you can limit how many lessons they can do a day. So maybe you can want to limit them to 2, you want to limit them to 3, or you want them to have unlimited access to how many lessons they can complete because you are trying to accomplish this in less than a year. That is something you can do. Again, your parental control helps you stay involved. I know I sound like an infomercial, but it's true. So now you're just like, okay, so now I'm gonna have to log into this database and find out how they did on their lesson. You actually, and this is a cool new perk that they have, they send you an email with their progress of what they just accomplished a day before. So you can go ahead and plot that if you have to do back planning or record keeping, as I like to call it, for your state or wherever you are. You need to keep an accurate record of stuff, or that grade log. You don't even need to log in. You can go ahead and look at your email from previous day. It will tell you what lesson they completed and the score and any awards that they may have, something like that they may have. Yay. Anyway, so that is all in there. So you don't even need to worry about that. So you can see how they're doing progress-wise. Because all of a sudden you see a trend of their scores going down and you haven't had a chance to log in, you know that at that point you need to do a check-in with your child. Don't wait to the very end and then one's never understood this algebraic equation. And then you're like left with at the end like, okay. But this is a way that you can stay involved. You know what they're doing progress-wise each day. You know what they're studying because you checked in the topics in the ebooks and such. You know what lessons they're completing based on your reports. You know the grades that they're getting and if they're needing that second chance. So if you're seeing a trend of uptake that they've needed that second chance over and over again, maybe that's also a point where you need to check in as well and revisit anything that they may be having trouble with. And your options are great. So you can just go ahead and rewatch the lessons together so you can see at what point they didn't understand something. And if it comes to it, you can use the free tutoring line that they are. There's also some built-in ACT, SAT preps and geometry and such that you know that those concepts are going to be reinforced and that you can reinforce them as well. So you can go ahead and print extra practice sheet if that's something that you feel like your child can benefit. In conclusion, yes, you can outsource math with teaching textbook and stay in the driver's seat. You can stay as little or as much as involved as you like. I still recommend to stay at least a little bit involved and know what topics are being introduced so you can plot those out for any stress points that may be coming up to you. Because if you know what's happening ahead of time, trust me, it's a lot easier to digest in the moment. But there is all these tools that are given to you so your kiddo can be pretty independent with the math. But just because it's built that way doesn't mean that you have to check out and stay outside the door. We're not ready. Anywho, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. Please give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate your support and make sure to share it with your friends because maybe they're like, algebra. Oh, I remember that guy. I can do it. Maybe this will be their CPR too. Clear! Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
That I'm the type of girl you're not really that